So, hey guys, Chausu here, and yeah, it's becoming pretty obvious now that the usual big One Piece Treasure Cruise YouTubers are under some sort of non-disclosure agreement, NDA, or something like that, which means they are literally not allowed to talk about this, which means that there's very little content about it on YouTube. So I thought I'd do what some other popular YouTubers usually do and speculate a bit, because now we've had time to let this sink in. We haven't had any new information since my last vid, except for the total lack of other YouTubers making videos like the regular big ones, which in itself is a pseudo confirmation that Roger is happening, and it's happening on global too. So yeah, the Yoshi Witch will drop on the 25th in Japan and the EU, and on the 24th in the US. We'll see what time exactly. We'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, I was going to speculate a bit about how is this going to work. And we actually have a bit of precedence when it comes to launch at the same time between global and Japan. And that was, of course, V3 Law. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I think this will play out similarly to V3 Law. So let's go back to V3 Law. So V3 Law, that was the One Piece Day Sugo in Japan, which they had planned a lot. They had the Choose Your Legend vote and all of that. And on global, we also got Law, but without that part, we just got a pretty underwhelming Sugo Fest, especially since French Annie was a week later, so not many pulled. But we got V3 Law Legend, and we got a small batch with a new Luffy and Sabo rare recruit. And then that was it for V3 Law. There was no other event for V3 Law or anything special. It was just a Sugo Fest, and then Japan very quickly moved on to V3 Boa, who got a lot of events, which we are seeing on global now. Blitz, Treasure Map, Kizuna, all of that. So I think you can see where I'm going with this. And because there is a simple problem here, like if we're going to think that Roger is the big batch of the month on JP, but we also get him on global, there is a very obvious issue with that. And that is, of course, mainly the treasure map. Like, of all the events we have in Treasure Cruise, the only one that is truly monthly and we truly can't skip, and it hasn't happened, is the treasure map. And we just got V3 Boa batch, and we're going to get all her events. Her Blitz is next week confirmed. Her Cola will be coming early next year, probably, with Orochi. And the treasure map with Nami Sanji should be on the 16th of January, which is super late, but a bit off topic, but I'm not so happy with that. So yeah, so the thing is, if Roger is the big batch of the month for JP, that means Roger will get a arena unit in Japan, since they don't have Cola anymore. He will get a TM, probably a Kizuna, like there will be a lot of events. But what happens when we get to that, because we have to go back to V3 Boa events, like we can't just skip a treasure map, we can't skip a Colosseum. So my theory basically is that this Roger will be very similar to V3 Law. Hisuga will drop on the 28th for me in the EU and Japan. and the 27th in US then. And we'll probably get Roger, hopefully a few rare recruits, like the standard is 2 rare recruits. I like a few more since it's a very special event and there's so much potential for rare recruits to go with this Roger. And we'll probably have it for a week. And maybe, if we're lucky, we'll get some event on both JP and Global. I'm not going to predict some World Clash kind of thing. Just maybe a little blitz or something we can farm with a free-to-play unit. Something like that would be very cool, and you can drop on both. And yeah, just a fun celebration. And then I think we'll, after a week, go our separate ways. I've already talked about what's going to happen on Global. We'll go back to V3 Boa, follow the scheduled planning. We'll probably have some of the stuff we skipped, like hopefully Kiss and Kaido. Like, I'd be happy if we do both Kiss and Kaido, who should have been before Boa, and Kiss and Buggy, who should be with Boa. Like, we can do one before Treasure Map and one after, and then move on to next batch. And then who knows what that batch is? It should be the Luffy Sanji batch with Whole Cake Island. But most of us think it's not the case, so we're going to maybe see some more reshuffling. Who knows? I'm not going to talk about that now. But what's fun to talk about is what's going to happen on JP. And as we know from this picture, this is going to be a big event in Japan. It's going to go until the end of January. And the way I see it, this Roger Sugo Fest is just the beginning. And if we think about it logically, like a week after Roger, what's happening then? It's of course the official release of the Chapter 1000. So of course this could also happen on Global, but it will just be a filler Sugo. But on Japan, I'm imagining a proper Chapter 1000 Sugo Fest. And it's going to be the real batch of the month. It's going to be at least one big new legend. Maybe related to Roger, maybe just some popular one, maybe a new Luffy or another kind of versus character, who knows. But yeah, I'm thinking that it will be the proper batch of the month. And then JP will continue with the event, with different events. They will obviously have a treasure map. I'm crossing my fingers for Odin. I think that will be very cool. And then do a legend one in a few months, or maybe Annie, who knows. So yeah, that's what I have in mind for Japan at least, and I think that will make a lot of sense, because I know people will think it's stupid, like how can you think that JP will get another legend a week after Roger, and that's just kind of the thing with the way the game works. If we do a thing together on JP and Global, like, what will we do when we should have got that Sugo? Like, we can't, it's hard to share. We could have shared events for a month, but not with the way we did it. Like, if we drop Bua, boom, do Blitz right away. We drop Origin right away. We drop the TM before Christmas. Like, bam, we have set ourselves up. We can share events with Japan for a month. Then we go back to the normal schedule. So, and that obviously didn't happen, so it's not an option. So that's just the way I see is most realistic, and we have precedents. But in the end, Bandai can do whatever they want. But that's my guess. So I figured I'd share this. So people who love to speculate, I sure love to do that. Now we have something to speculate about. And I will probably not make another vid about this. Like, I imagine when he's revealed, the other YouTubers will go back to normal. And there's not really any need for me to fill that void, so yeah. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back uploading teams like usual when I feel like it. Bye bye.